Oh! What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Uber Trippy. And now, before we get into the video, be sure to like the video, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and be sure to comment. Leave a negative comment, leave a positive comment, leave a neutral comment, leave a intellectual comment, leave a funny comment, leave a supernatural comment, leave a terrestrial comment, leave any type of comment. I don't care. It could be anything. You could say auga, you could say meow, you could say roo. Or you can say Top G, or you can say Soy Boy, or say anything. I don't care. Just put a comment. And check out my website, inspiredwoodworks.shop. Again, that is inspiredwoodworks.shop, where you can find amazing woodworking crafts, artworks made by moi behind me. You could even make things of your pets. That's my little doggo right there. Or cool bands, or just know if you have a channel name for, let's say, your Twitch channel, or for your Kick page, or for your YouTube channel, I can make you stuff like that. You see this? I can engrave your name and then paint it all by hand. Everything's all made by hand, and with the my CNC machine that's what engraves all these beautiful images into these fine exotic pieces of wood. Now, getting into the video, we just watched Oompaville's video on how he got scammed for basically $750,000, which is insanity. But now we are watching the new video that literally just came out 4 hours ago. It's called Exposing My Scammer. It's a 55-minute video, which I'm probably going to turn into like an hour 30, I would imagine. So go and get some popcorn, go get some water, drink up, because I know I'm going to drink water in between this. And get your popcorn and be right back. Yeah, I'll just pause it right now, and then yeah. But enough of me talking. Let's get into the video right about now.
Are you aware that Caleb has been scammed?
It's seeming likely.
This part
is seeming likely.
Answering all the
It
questions.
is likely.
Anything I could do to help. I mean, you got to catch this guy.
The brutal
Coffeezilla.
of what exactly
Wait, I can't even see what that says. Let me go into the other tab. See, rest in peace. I can't read that.
and every single detail.
I can't read that. It's too small.
Yo, dude.
Oh no.
So what are you gonna do about Jake?
All my homies and I hate Jake.
And he didn't respond with a lawyer. He didn't respond by calling me. He has my phone number.
He
didn't
ghosted.
respond by sending me an email.
Bitch, I'm going ghost. Yeah, I'm going ghost. Big body ghost.
He responded by just posting on Twitter.
On Twitter?
To everyone coming from
Oompaville's video. Dang, he actually saw the video, and all he did was respond on Twitter, and he has a cat PDF. Cringe. Oh my goodness, bro. I'm so glad I don't use or have Twitter, bro. Like, Twitter, if you meet someone and they use Twitter religiously, huge red flag.
Oompaville's video. Please stop trying to dox me. Stop doing that. Seriously. I will be making a
Hey, I mean, he kind of had it coming. I do not condone that either, but kind of had it coming.
formal statement and attempting to get in touch with Caleb directly. 1. I did not know I was being labeled a scammer. 2. There was a lot of important information missing from the video.
Like
I did
what?
not receive or pocket $1 million, and every penny we received was put into the project. 4. I was under the impression my help was no longer needed after the source of the equipment was leaked to Caleb. 5. I did not receive any further correspondence from any.
What do you mean you didn't think you were needed after the... What do you definitely scammed, bro. You took so much money just to give this guy a machine that was 5 times more... Like, he paid 5 times more than what he should have, is what I'm trying to say.
Anyone after it was leaked 5-ish months ago. 6. I did not intentionally scam Caleb.
Intentionally.
Don't worry, guys.
You know, it just kind of accidentally. It just kind of happened. You know, it wasn't intentional.
It's shaking in my my red Instagram.
You know, like, come on, we all do that sometimes. We all just sometimes, you know, just accidentally scam someone. It just happens, you know.
Boots. I worked with Chinese manufacturers directly to customize equipment because the cost to manufacture ourselves was too high. I received it and worked 1 year plus reverse engineering, redesigning controls, swapping cheap components.
Redesign, bro. Then why didn't you just go and assemble the thing yourself? Then bro, Will literally exposed you. Will said that you guys did not design it or build it. Or at least he didn't, so why didn't you go down and do it yourself? Because Will clearly did not have the know-how or the knowledge to assemble this machine.
With USA ones, etc. Caleb was told this was designed and built by us, which was a lie, though not initially. We did not receive $1 million, but
this was, Caleb was told this was designed and built by us. Bro, so he literally lied to him off the bat. Though not initially, we did not receive the bonus or not. Bro, you didn't even deserve $1 million. You didn't even deserve $500,000. You didn't even deserve $250,000. Bro, like, you shouldn't have even gotten the money in the first place. Caleb should have hit a reputable machinist, like manufacturer, and bought it from them. That's his mistake. But bro, Jake, you definitely scammed the boy Caleb. You can't say you're not a scammer, bro.
But a lesser amount, and didn't pocket any of it. It was put into the equipment. Purchased new controls,
sure.
Chinese ones, redesigning electricals. I did not simply scam Caleb out of a huge sum of money. I provided him equipment he thought was 100% USA custom made, but wasn't. Then never finished the install and startup.
Bro, it sounds like you scammed him if you said that he thought one thing, but then it wasn't. It was another. That's what you call a scammer, bro. This guy is literally like exposing himself in the tweet.
That's good, but also, those are all lies, and I can prove it, and I will systematically.
Not only is he lying in the lie, but he's lying on top of those lies. That's crazy.
Throughout this video.
I've got documents. I have documents on all of you.
He's got documents.
GG.
$599. Her eyeballs were plucked out.
If you've seen part
calculated
one of this
risk,
thing, you know the details of how the company started. We imported candy from Europe and rebagged it in Texas, and we launched that, a co-manufactured product that was
Europe. I don't think I've ever had candy from Europe. I've had Chinese candy, I've Mexican candy, I've had candy from here. I've had Japanese candy, but yeah, I don't think I've had European candy.
Sold that, it did very well. Now on to Jake. I first met Jake through my Twitch streams. At the time all this was starting, I streamed on a pretty consistent, regular basis, and he was—
That's a very good idea, to be honest. European candy.
Appeared very knowledgeable and was interested in the things I was doing, specifically—
Actually, that's a lie. I've had Maltesers. That's definitely a European candy.
The right mattress makes everything clear.
My neck feels better.
Bro, I don't care about your neck, fat guy.
People even sort of knew him in the community, in Discord and on Twitch.
Bro, that's Discord.
So my community really liked him, and to me, he seemed like a good guy that was helping out when he didn't have to. After a stream in which Jake—
I don't care how good of a guy you are on Discord, bro. The fact that you use Discord kinda sus, you know? Kinda sus. I can't trust no one on Discord that I don't know in real life.
I spoke about what Jake did outside of just watching my Twitch streams. He was an industrial automation engineer, something along those lines. I forget the exact terminology used. We added each other on Discord and talked about the candy because he was very interested in it. And Jake and I talked about how to make this thing a little bit bigger in the future potentially. But generally, our first talk was how to automate the bagging process, which was the most time-consuming thing. On March 28th, 2021, I received Jake's first cost analysis on what it would take to automate the bagging of the candy. Like I mentioned, not production, not manufacturing, just automate bagging. There was some speculation in the document, but overall it's
okay, my bad. Again, I did say that so if Oompaville was actually told that like they made it, the machine, and that they designed it initially, if that's what he was told by Jake, then that makes sense as to why he would believe him, and that's why like he went all in on this. Because the last video when I was watching, I thought that Oompaville assumes that he designed it and made it and all that. So I was like, oh, it's kind of a little bit of your fault since you kind of just assumed that. But now that he's saying, now that he said that they actually told him, I'm like, oh, that makes a lot more sense. Yeah, he just got straight up lied to. So it's technically not his fault, really.
And very technical, and in my opinion, it appeared fully legitimate. Also, in my opinion, I believe that this is where the scam begins. The candy launches, it sells better than I imagined. I spent nearly $100,000 on the first launch. So over the next month, I do some plotting and scheming with my friend Jake. And on June 4th, 2021, I asked Jake, hello, sir. I wanted to ask if you guys could create the manufacturing.
Damn, on July 4th? 4th of July.
The idea was to be able to get past the.
My 4th of July was pretty chill.
I want to literally become him.
All I did was sleep.
At this point, I wanted to become him. Willy Wonka. So Jake said, absolutely, dude.
Bro, as a kid, I dead ass used to sing to that song. Dun, 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 dun. And like the new Willy Wonka with Johnny Depp, bro. There was like the CD came with all these like songs with Oompa Loompas dancing to the songs, and as a kid, I would just go dun, 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 and I would just dance along to the Oompa Loompas. That was fun.
Kind of candy
Childhood memories.
Designs I wanted to be.
Gotta love Willy Wonka.
Pictures of the rolls of candy, the sour strips that we were selling at that time. I was very excited. You can tell I'm a
sour strips.
From the launch until this point, I had contacted.
Bro, that's making me want some candy right now. Not gonna lie, and I don't even eat candy that often.
Figure out how to make this. Believe it or not, I couldn't find.
I do be liking some munchies though, some snacks.
I got multiple quotes for millions and millions of dollars, but I am just
jeez.
A single man with my mom as my, shipping candy to my
millions of dollars. That's crazy.
I wanted to find something that I could do and get the workforce to work for me. By that I mean having it like automated and not having to have people fucking pack candy into bags with their hands. You can see Jake clearly makes the
packet.
Handles the designing of everything we need.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, how are you gonna get the candy like out of the original packaging and then into the other packaging, like without it being automated?
Next step, a contract. Obviously, it's amazing how many of you in the first part just assumed that I didn't have a contract or just assumed that I didn't do any due diligence. I know I didn't include anything specific in the video, but I promise.
True, yeah, you kind of didn't include anything specific. You kind of just made it seem like you just assumed that things were, yeah. But I'm glad he has the contract and the documentations to back things up.
I did all the research.
What's wrong with him?
Okay, he did all the research. See, I'm just assuming like he did like the bare minimum research if he got scammed so badly. But that's good that he said that, because you kind of have to. Because yeah, people, when it comes to the internet, yeah, people will take what you say quite literally, and if you miss things out, people like me will fill in the dots.
Jake and I communicated very consistently for a good while, and all this time I was waiting on specifics on what it would take to make this thing, waiting for his, contract, more of what he could do for me or what we could do together. And I am at the same time exhausting my resources to try to make this entire thing a reality. I'm fortunate enough to know a good few business people who are successful in what they do. I called all of them.
That's good.
I got all of their opinions and all of their advice. I wrote it all down in a notebook. And,
oh wow,
I created a game plan. During this era, Jake
game plan.
The first whole process over.
Can't read that.
Another legitimate document. The only problem was that the first whole process overview utilized injection molding instead of extrusion. We'll circle back to that later as to why it's important. And the estimated cost of the total thing was between $250,000 and $550,000.
Jeez.
Less than the quotes that I had gotten before. Seemed reasonable. I asked Jake for the finalized proposal and I started talking to lenders, and this part was tough because my business was so young. I didn't qualify for much that was, worthwhile to take out as a loan, or the interest rates were really high.
It makes sense. It's kind of hard for banks to trust new up-and-coming businesses with no experience.
It was difficult and complicated, and a lot of the lenders just scoffed at me.
Especially if your credit isn't the best.
I was also doing my best to try and figure out how to make candy. I even spoke to a confectionery consultant that suggested we swap out the production method to the extruder model instead of the injection mold, because it wouldn't work properly. And Jake said that was cool. Then Jake sends out the first updated proposal and mentions his team making a flight to Texas to come visit to see our
Yeah, it looks very legit to me too.
Little setup, or what we're doing in our small 3,500 square
Bro,
foot.
this is a very elaborate scam.
I didn't expect to make this man fly across the country to come see my stuff because I had spoken to him. I felt very comfortable with him and working with him. So I didn't see it as being entirely necessary, but I know now in hindsight, I should have definitely had him come out to
Oh, no, yeah, for sure. Yeah, you need them to come over, bro. Especially with such a huge asset purchase like this. My goodness, bro. You need to get your money's worth.
see all the stuff and just see him.
You're spending that much
Actually,
money.
that wouldn't have made any difference. Still couldn't get any loans in the meantime.
Sure, it probably wouldn't have made any difference, but I mean, at least you could have like talked to him face to face and like asked him more questions. I don't know. Just like with Will, I mean, when Will was there, you actually got like answers as to like, yeah, like they didn't build this, like we weren't the ones who designed it. Maybe Jake would have been like, oh, I didn't build this, I just literally just got this from China and I just got the custom parts and blah blah blah, and then he would have been like, what? Like way sooner. But that's just like hearsay. Like it probably would have made a big difference if he's gonna say that. So
I'm in
yeah.
massive trouble, panic, anxiety. I asked Jake to lower the price if he could, to cut whatever, you know, wasn't necessary out of the contract. I also asked if he had any resources for lending and equipment loans, because he builds equipment. Obviously, he would have some connections there, and he provided some. Pretty nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Beside that, Jake honored my request to lower the price a bit, and he created some revisions of the contract, cost-saving revisions. And as you can see, these seem sort of normal, but this one here in the top, alternative sourcing, has a major price impact. It didn't change it much. It didn't change
Major.
It much. It lowered the price a little bit, but it still was $538,000.
That's a pretty penny.
Alternative sourcing. Oh, I must emphasize yet again how stressful this time was. I was
Alternative sourcing from where? Be more specific. Yeah, like
twice a day, one on my gaming channel, one on my main channel, and my channel was doing very poorly while I was posting. It was rough.
That's tough.
And the hype for the first two flavors that we launched with Sour Boys sort of died down, and there wasn't much income to be made there. Mr. Zeldaron offered more help besides just lenders, and offered some discounts if we signed a contract to take his bids.
that just shows you the power of hype. You definitely gotta hit when the hype be at its fullest. Sheesh. I don't want to listen to that.
Your equipment if the business expanded. Of course, no brainer. Why would I work with anyone else? This guy's been kind to me. His contracts are legitimate. It's awesome. I also signed an NDA. By the way, NDAs do not protect you if you are trying to prevent the disclosure of fraud. I would consider myself to be good friends with Jake at this point. I felt that way. I'm not sure if he felt that way.
So technically he isn't responsible under the NDA, since it's technically fraud that Jake committed. Allegedly, I guess.
I'm starting to think
Allegedly, not allegedly.
maybe. I'm giving banks his info. He's talking to them. They're turning me down due to the age of my business. Just the same old story over and over and over again. The dude is providing me with support. He's helping me out as much as he can. A lot of failure. A lot of failure in the middle of 2021. Jake comes to me with a solution. A bit of an offer with money or his rep and lender. This solution looked okay, but at the same time, I decided not to do it because it was a little hefty. I didn't like the down. It was scary to me. I was very
Down
scary.
payment?
Despite what you
Oof.
guys may think, I'm not a complete and total idiot. I did not take this deal as I thought it probably wouldn't bear well for me, or I'm
Good.
able to honor the payments, because I just didn't have that much money or make that much money. The point is, Jake was being reasonable, trying to help more than most people would. June 16th, 2021, the final contract comes in. It looks
But that's what all scammers do. They pretend to help before they swoop in for the big gulp of money.
good. Get my lawyer to check it out. I sign it 2 days later. Boom. Jake plans to fly out to Tejas. Or maybe he didn't. I have no idea. I assumed he did. By the way, beautiful contract. Excellent contract. Very little up to the imagination. There's a satisfaction guarantee at the end. Thank you, Jake, for the satisfaction guarantee. I appreciate it. Now, tell me how I was supposed to determine that this would lead to where we are now. That is beside the point. I need.
Doesn't sound like he was very satisfied or guaranteed.
The first part of the money on July 1st. It was $100,000. And how I got this Well, baby girl, I sold part of my channel to a company called Creative Juice that is partnered with Mr. Beast, and you know, Mr. Beast, like it's
No, he sold part of his channel. That's crazy. So this company literally owns a part of this guy's channel that he used to pay out. That's crazy. But you know what's even more crazy? That this all started from a random dude off of Discord. That's crazy to me.
they're kind of distanced now from Mr.
That he's
Beast.
never even met in person and didn't have fly over. Not that he had to, or that it would have changed anything like he said, but still. The fact that he doesn't even know what this guy looks like or met him is kind of
Don't
wild.
Exactly, no. But the SBA said no. Mr. Beast said yes. And I have to state how grateful I am for how much Creative Juice has helped me throughout all of this.
Oh, that's good.
They have my back genuinely, and they
That's
gave
good that
me
they
the
helped
capital
him.
to get this ball rolling, and I'm so grateful of that. But it still wasn't enough scratch, all right? And I couldn't send him all of the money off the bat, or I wouldn't have had.
I wonder how
any
much money he
at
got for
all.
selling
And
his
by the way, guys,
some of his channel.
trying to buy a house. How did I buy the house? Why didn't I just send him that money? I bought the current house that I'm living in by selling the house that I grew up in. I bought it from my parents in 2019.
Oh, nice.
I renovated the shit out of it. I missed that
Dang,
place.
he bought his
But,
parents' house.
You know, the baby must leave the nest or whatever the fuck they say. And I sold it to some schmuck from DC. No offense. There's a contract.
You call it the schmuck, you schmuck.
Plano, Texas, where I first moved on July 31st, 2021, and I moved to
Literally him when he's in Texas.
near where I live now. I'm homeless, and I have 2 dogs or 3, I can't remember, and a girlfriend and my cousin Clint, baby girl. And we decide instead of living in my parents' house, we just stay in the warehouse. So we lived in a fucking warehouse. We played games. You guys know how that went. It was terrible, very stressful.
I don't know how it went. I wasn't there.
That's the point.
I didn't really stay. I wasn't very tuned in at that moment, but now I know at least.
To emphasize that consistent. I tell Jake I'm panicking. This needs to happen ASAP. House is closing next week. Spoiler alert, it didn't. It took an additional month. I had such bad luck finding loans that I was just consistently applying for that I was worried I'd have to divvy out ownership again to investors. And I just didn't want to risk anyone else's money because I knew I was being sort of reckless with this entire thing. And that's why I decided to sort of avoid that. I did talk to a couple people, but at the end of the day, I just decided to keep it in my own little circle to make it something that I had to deal with and my responsibility entirely, because
That's
I'm fine
good.
with losing a bank's money and my own money, but
Yeah, because when it comes to other people's money and them hounding you for it, oh my goodness, that's just a whole nother level of stress.
genuinely could not imagine losing someone else's money. And then Jake makes an interesting,
Because then all that guilt as well
asking me
from
to make a
losing their
decision
money.
on changing the build out of the machine. This is making it an extruder as opposed to an injection molding. But I already explained to him before this that we needed an extruder. Number 4 in this message, we are using alternative supply chains in some components as a part of our discounted proposal, so some items are coming from international suppliers. Our material lead time is roughly 45 to 60 days for everything, and manufacturing is 30-ish days, putting us at November delivery. And then some more ways to pay for the stuff. Because at this point, if he gets the stuff in November, we could launch in December, January, something
That's
like
a good
that.
time.
The time frame for me paying for this contract
In time for
full is
Christmas.
closing in. Jake talks about price hikes, increases, you know, more price increases the 23rd. This is wild. You can have a 5% increase and then just days later, another 5% increase on all these individual parts that you're buying. That makes sense. That does make sense. When you're building something out of individual parts,
True.
it does make sense. And then I'm talking about sending money. He also obtained proposals from different candy equipment manufacturers from around the world and patted his own back, saying how much cheaper his was than all of theirs. I'd estimate with all discounts and sourcing we did to get the cost down that this production line would normally
Sure.
retail around $700K. Shit is absolutely whack. And as you can see, I responded to this
700K?
with
Oh my
positivity.
goodness.
I showed an image of Squidward and SpongeBob to show that we are connected, and looking back at
Oh,
it,
nah.
frowns on the faces make more sense.
That makes a lot of sense. The frown on the faces.
In late August, I sent
Not unwillingly connected.
Jake another $65,000 and $100,000 on different days, 2 days from one another. And all of that was from my business checking accounts. Why did I do that? Because my personal checking accounts are frozen while you're closing on a home. They're not frozen, but it can cause problems if you spend money or open credit, etc. Getting excitement, still no house, still very stressful, but still getting some excitement. All right. Fast forward a little bit. We are 11 days until closing.
If I lost it all and I had to start from scratch,
My goodness, I don't care if you lost it all and had to start from scratch. I just want to watch the video.
Trying to devise a plan. I offered Jake 10% of the company to see if he could
10%?
strings and get this rolling fast.
That's a good chunk of the company.
September 2021, Jake says he has everything on order with down payments to all his vendors. He's got a mechanical engineer finalizing everything, and he's
Bro, Oompaville, give me 10%.
in Atlanta for some of the welding that is more precise that he doesn't want to do.
I'll do absolutely nothing,
He needs to order a few
and I'll scan you, but hey, I'm just kidding. JK.
All that stuff, it's on order. He doesn't have a time frame for delivery yet. No projection. And it makes sense though. COVID, man. There's supply shortages. They've been fucking me over too, Jake. I understand, dude. I'm grateful at this same time.
COVID's rough, yeah.
Ordering stuff in bulk because it drops the cost by as much as 20%. I'm happy he did that. A couple days go by, my house closes. I moved in.
I bet it takes forever for things to come
terrible
from Europe to America too.
Still to this day, by the way, I have no idea what that strike was for. Jake was worried about
Especially China as well for shipping.
I haven't seen any vids for a hot minute. We were sending a $55,000 payment tomorrow to finalize the PLC and controller order out of California for your machine. I'm using our internal working capital. Just wanted to let you know that we are trying hard to get this moving for you. Dude, he's using his own working capital to help my dreams. This is great. This is great news. I still haven't sent him all the money, but I do very soon. It's only a month left until the entire thing is paid off. I want to make a small U-turn here, though. This is maybe a bombshell. I'm not exactly sure. On the 23rd of September, Jake said, "There's a small chance one of my crypto portfolios might blow up to 1 million by the end of the year. Fingers crossed. Gonna reinvest it all into the biz when it does for working cap." He's talking about reinvesting it into his business for working capital to help with stuff. Last year, I liquidated 100% of all real stocks, futures, Forex, and options.
Oh, nah. When a dude brings up Forex and crypto, run. Bruh, ever since Dogecoin, and all these cryptos that I have, bruh, I have not invested anything in any crypto in a fat minute, bruh. Or, I mean, stocks I definitely would invest into, but, there's things I gotta pay for, and there's stuff I need to pay, so, I don't really feel comfortable in investing myself, but, yeah, it's kinda sus if a dude's constantly telling you about his crypto and stuff like that.
Options and dumped it into crypto, LMAO.
Oh nah, not the LMAO.
I was slightly concerned.
I would be concerned too, bro.
During this time, I'm sending Jake all of the money I have. My house is closed,
and he's putting it into crypto.
The month I just send him. And Jake says that we can get the machine by December 1st if we expedite and get things really rolling. And by that, he means pay him. It makes sense. But what about the candy, though? We still don't have the recipes for the candy at this point, and we're trying to figure it out, but it's difficult to make this kind of stuff without true quality confectionery equipment. Steam jacketed kettles, surface scraping heat exchangers. There's science to it. It is not rocket science, but it is more complicated than you'd believe.
Yeah.
He understands though, and he feels sorry for me for still getting.
I don't feel like it's easy peasy.
My lenders that I'm reaching out to. On October 4th, 2021, I sent Jake another $100,000.
Sheesh.
At this point, there's only 268 grand left from that contract, baby. Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
I spoke to the lender that I used to finance my land, and they were interested in giving a loan for the equipment. A loan for $238,000.
Let's go.
Just around 30 grand left. They said yes. I was ecstatic. The whole thing was good. It was
Let's go.
In a dark time. And baby boy Jake gave me some expectations.
Baby boy Jake.
Your safe timeline for delivery plus startup, basically when you will be running the machine live, is currently early February. So for the purposes of planning with your current supplier and overall, that should be what you use. My absolute earliest target date is December 1st, but like I said before, that is a pipe dream, so don't hold me to it. Fine, I won't hold you to it. I understand, Jake. It's hard to determine these kinds of things. February it is. The money from my local bank, my friends, was wired to him. He was very excited. But Jake feels bad. Did you get a confirmation for your wire, Jake said. I said, let me ask. Might settle this morning. I didn't send him the address until after 5 Eastern Standard Time, I think. Jake said, no worries, bud. I just wanted to check in on it. I said, thanks, man. That's so much money. If I don't get paid this month, I'll go broke. I'm plumb out, aside from $20,000 in crypto. Sorry, $23,000 in crypto. This is not a lie. I was fucking broke. Literally.
Even Oompaville had his money in crypto, bruh. I don't blame him, bruh. I mean, if that goes up... I mean, crypto can go up times 100 like percent. Like it's crazy. That's why like it's very tempting to put money into it.
How lucky I am, but I was being very, very dumb and taking a lot of risks. But I'm still young.
A lot of risks.
I can make it all back. Jake feels bad for me. Says fucking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can do it, Oompaville. I mean, you're pretty successful. I mean, look at your YouTube channel, bro. You literally built this from the ground up, bro. You're doing, and you literally lost, I guess, your first YouTube channel. I didn't even know you lost a YouTube channel to begin with. So yeah, bro, you'll bounce back, bro. I'm literally just beginning, bro. Like you're way more ahead of than me, bro. When it comes to business. And I'm literally going to school for business. I literally have my associate's degree in business, and it's not like I kind of have my own business, but it's more like a hobby than as a business, because it's not like I have a ton of hype or a lot of customers coming my way, which is why I'm trying to get this YouTube channel up, and I'm trying to, you know, get my brand out there, you know.
Pretty cool emoji of a guy crying upside down. Not that I need to, but still feel bad siphoning your money like this. Fucking lender.
He literally said siphoning.
The guy has a heart. Fucking lender. So the loan is approved. Jake still hasn't gotten the money yet. The previous wires were all out of pocket. One thing though, the bank needs a serial number to prevent fraud, because they, you know, they're betting on the equity of this machine to kind of counteract their risk of investment.
True, yeah, you kind of need the serial number for the machine. It's got to be legit, you know? Yeah, makes sense, makes sense.
That's just how business works. It's how banks lend money.
Yeah.
So Jake goes ahead and makes a serial number. He says each piece of equipment will be serialized individually.
He made a serial. Oh yeah, I forgot. I think in the previous video he said that they literally engraved their own serial number into the machine. So they literally just made their own bullshit serial number.
And also
or am I tripping?
Code that reflects the day it was finished. The equipment is serial number 160.10-001.
Watch the bank be like, this is not a real.
From my bank. All that's left is 30 grand, which I paid out of pocket shortly after. Celebrate! Yay!
Yay!
We got it! We got it! What a good end. What a good end to paying off the contract.
Fighting the desire.
Lies and
Also
delay.
following the desire.
Hey Jake, do you think there's a chance that I could maybe see my machine now that I've paid for it entirely? I'll see what I can come up with. We don't have enough pieces to assemble.
Damn, paid for it entirely and still doesn't even have it or assembled. That's crazy.
Georgia shop yet. We're getting really close though. I have multiple fab shops assembling metal frames and other skids in order to speed everything up. A few days go by, Android sound, pics show up. Jake sends me these terrible photos.
Those are pretty bad.
Photos being terrible when he...
I hate when people send terrible photos. It's like, bro, get better angles, get angles where I can actually see everything, bro. Like that does look terrible.
You know, he's making this machine himself. Sorry for the...
Like, yeah, if I'm looking on Craigslist to buy a new used car and like there's only 1 or 2 pictures, or there's like no pictures of the interior, only pictures of the exterior, or like, yeah, like that's a huge red flag. Like, bruh, post more pictures and you will sell your product way easier and faster than all the other people selling their items on any website.
The shit tier quality, here's all I've been able to get so far. Fab shop guys are all dinosaurs and basically have fucking flip phones. He's implying that they're old and they don't know how to use technology and they won't take pictures for him. Yet again, that does make sense. Have you ever been to a fab shop?
No!
I haven't.
I haven't.
They're all old. I actually know the person who took these photos, by the way, which is hilarious. It is at this point some uncertainty starts to build within my mind. I'm still completely just balls to the wall on this thing. I believe in it.
Balls to
entirely,
the
but
wall.
with some uncertainty, more specifically from Jake. There's no delivery date. We don't have anything, nothing at the warehouse, but they're ready and prepared to have stuff calibrated and powered up by mid to late December. With any luck, we'll be making candy before 2022. But the extruder is still not ready yet because of a tolerance issue that messed them up a couple weeks ago. So they're sorting that all out. I don't really know exactly. As of this point, though, Jake projected we would safely have the whole line running in my warehouse by the 1st of February. Safely have it in my warehouse. And maybe even some of it running in my warehouse by the 15th of January. That's good. Little uncertainty, but we're good. Jake mentions expediting, which we talked about previously, and I agreed to have some of the stuff expedited. This incurred more of an expense, an additional $70,000. In my mind, I thought paying extra for expediting would just make sense, and it would be better for me, because expedite means to have something happen quicker, and the quicker I could have my machine, the quicker I could get it up and running. I had already hired Forrest, the COO.
Hey, time is money. So yeah.
Any update on the R&D machine? We got the candy samples. They taste excellent, but are nothing like the existing product, and I'm assuming because they're made differently. Sorry, man, I'm extremely behind. I'll work it up the first of the week. He didn't work it up for the first of the week.
Extremely behind.
That's fine. No need for R&D equipment. And the candy was different because it was extruded, and it wasn't injection molded. In spite of that not being in the contract, it was still a weird delay. He just started to get behind. It seemed strange. It was a strange time between late November to basically the first part of 2022. Mine and Jake's communication became less frequent. Jake was MIA for days.
Oh nah, that's sus. That's like when you. That's like yeah. That's like when you start to slowly get ghosted by like a dude or a chick that you're like talking to, and you're just like, oof.
At a time after I would message him on Discord, I would call him regularly still. By the way, this whole time I had been calling him, you know, fairly consistently to communicate with him about certain stuff and ask him questions to just get info. With all the silence on Discord, I decided to just start texting him. My last DM to Jake that actually was involved with having responses from him was on the 9th of January, 2022. I DM'd him again in April, but I got left on red, and I was texting him and calling. It's fine. We were
Dang, in April, from January all the way January, February, March, April. Dang, that's like a lot of months in between, bro. What the heck?
But not as much, and just on text. My team is big at this point. I'm ready to launch mid-Feb. I've got Forrest, my mom, Clint, a guy who can't be named, my dad, not to mention the entire team that helps me make YouTube videos. They're all paid as well. I started buying
sheesh, that's a lot of expenses.
Flour, sugar, ingredients, flavors, dyes, etc. Not to mention the legal side of food production.
Oh yeah, all the ingredients are gonna get expired over time if he's not gonna be making these like things. If the machine's not there for a fat minute, dang. So then those ingredients are gonna eventually become useless.
Expensive. You have to have lawyers, you've got to have FDA regs, you got to have inspectors, you have to do everything perfectly, which we do, and in order to get there you have to pay a lot of money. But the part that cost
a lot of money
was, for me specifically, the scam part. This was really when I started to spend greatly in excess of what I was making, to the point where there were problems in terms of credit, things like that. No excuses. I brought this on myself, obviously, but buy the merch. And by the way, the expenses are still basically the same, and we're still managing to this day. No one has left on the team. It's been incredible. I cannot express my gratitude for my team more. When I think about it, it makes me feel emotional, and for me, that's like not a lot. I don't really feel emotional that much. Q1 of
me neither. I don't really get too emotional.
We're working our asses off, and we assumed Jake was doing the same. On February 3rd, 2022 at 1:08 p.m., I sent Jake a quirky little message right after I finished a recording session where I was trying to buy a little Chinese truck. You know, those little small trucks? Well, I was looking on Alibaba, and guess what I found? A candy extruder machine. That's so weird. For $30,000? I sent this to Jake and said, how high quality you think I could make candy with this? Not very grammatically correct, and I followed it with an LMFAO. He said, holy shit, lol. Something tells me that's a flat-out scam. Crying, laughing emoji.
That's yo, says the one that's charging Oompaville 5 times the rate of the machine that you paid for. What are you talking about? $30,000 seems like a steal, bro. Oompaville, bro. You could, oh my goodness, bro. This man could have just, oh my goodness, paid a fraction for, I mean, even if it was an Alibaba, like, machine, like, at least it's, if it functions, it functions. Who cares if it's made from China, bro? If it works, it works. Who cares?
Okay, how you'd be able to put together just an extruder for anywhere close to that cost. This is where it gets really bad, guys. This is where it gets really fucking bad. Early 2022.
I know, it sounds like it. That sounds terrible.
I don't know where my machine is. Comms are at an all-time low. Texts go unanswered. It's terrible communication skills.
Wow. That's a lot of missed texts.
From someone you're exchanging hundreds of thousands of dollars with. Personally, if someone had given me hundreds of thousands of dollars,
Oh my goodness, wow. He's not even replying to any of his questions, and he paid him hundreds of thousands of dollars. This is insanity. My blood would literally be boiling. Oh my goodness.
them for the rest of my life. But alas, you can tell that this is not the case. I mean, dude, look at this. I assume this was all just him being overworked and stressed, as he still provided updates occasionally.
See, keyword assume. Don't assume, bro. You gotta be on their ass, bro. You gotta threaten them. I don't care. You gotta manipulate them, threaten them. Do whatever it takes to get their ass working and productive, because you paid them a shit ton of money for them not to be.
Sporadic, a little sporadic. I gave Jake some advice that I had taken myself, which is to relax and meditate. There's an app called Hypnobox. It's pretty cool. I even checked it and asked if he checked the app out. He never responded. But no worries, Caleb Oompaville.
Ain't nobody got time for that. I ain't gonna see, you're too chillaxed. You're too forgiving. You gotta be a freaking beast. You gotta be a dog. You gotta bark at this guy. You can't be soft with nobody. You gotta put your foot down and demand shit to be done.
All of these delays are supply chain problems, and everyone keeps screwing him over. In hindsight, it does seem weird that all of the problems that are falling on me are not his responsibility whatsoever. It's kind of strange. He tells me he's having a hard time.
It is kind of strange, kind of sus.
Money. I said, yeah, man, same boat, same boat. I'm literally bleeding out on the battlefield. Like, literally. Because when you get timelines for things to launch, you start to ramp up. At this point, I had hired people. I had bought materials. I had taken out loans. It's starting to come together, isn't it? On July 23rd,
July
2022, Jake gets sick for the first time.
So he still doesn't have the machine, and this is way past February. March. Yeah, oh my goodness, bro.
He's got pneumonia. Not good, man. I feel bad for him, obviously. Nobody can catch a break. I check in on him, ask him if he's feeling any better. I let him know that if it takes much longer, I'm going to have to start laying people off, which thankfully I didn't have to do.
Good.
At the time, that was my only option until...
What's up? Oh yeah, I think it's in the garage. Yeah, I think because Natsu came over and I played on his laptop with the controller. I hooked it up to Bluetooth. Yeah, I think it's in the garage.
I, borrowed more money, obviously. I did everything to try to make this work. You guys have to understand, I did absolutely everything.
Well, yeah, it sounds like you did everything, of course, because that's... I mean, anyone would, bro. You lost so much money. My goodness, you poured so much money into this. Is your life. Of course. I believe you when you say you did everything you could, because you'd be crazy not to.
To get to the point where we are now. Like a lion coming from its den, we finally got a date to come pick up the machine in Georgia, because Jake couldn't figure out how to get it shipped to us. He kept having problems with his freight companies and stuff. It's not good. I was excited. The future actually seemed bright for the first time in a long time. And by the way, how or why could we pick it up? Well, my dad has a hotshot rig, and my other cousin, Marcus, has a hotshot rig as well. They went out. They picked that bitch up. And everything is ready, dude. Still couldn't get...
Don't know what a hotshot rig is, but okay, cool.
Which I really, really, really wanted and was fairly persistent about. And that would strike me as odd because, if you design something, you'd think you'd have blueprints or whatever. When asked about this, Jake says he's going to be brutally honest. And he follows this up by saying the servers were white.
I will be brutally honest. Not when you pick it up. So when we had our engineering cloud server get wiped, all the backups, we never could recover anything, and that was stored there. I briefly told you about it, I think, but ending being 10 times worse than I I thought.
including backups with no possibility of recovery for all of his manuals and schematics and things like this. Guys, I'm getting goosebumps. This is crazy. This happened to me, and
manuals and schematics, but he doesn't even have any manuals and schematics because he isn't even the one who manufactured the machine in the first place. It's China made. He didn't make this. My goodness, bro. This guy is a huge manipulator.
I can't believe it. It's very convenient. As soon as I start to put the
Super
hammer down,
convenient.
you get sick. As soon
That's
as
how
I
you know
ask
it's a
about
scam.
manuals and press that. Oh, they get white, dude.
There's no such thing as coincidences, okay? You gotta connect the dots. Be mindful, like, be cautious, be wary. Don't trust strangers, bro. Yeah, this is what happens when you give faith to Discord strangers. Oh my goodness.
Weird. We'll look past all that for now, all right? My father and Forrest and Marcus go to Georgia and pick up the machine. Yes! I was very, very, very happy. This
Let's go. We got the machine.
First time in a long time. The machine is real. Jake is texting me.
The
My
One
dad
Piece is
proved
real.
his existence in spite of him being delayed and coming down and flying down multiple times since we first signed contract in July of 2021. Next step, drive across the country 13 hours from Georgia to Tejas.
13 hours? My goodness. I would be
Once the
so
machine is dropped
tired.
off in the warehouse, it feels surreal, but it doesn't last very long. It's the actual beginning of the entire thing. I try to get more information from Jake on what we can do and what the soonest possible launch date is, and no response for any of this stuff, dude. I'm immeasurably stressed at this point.
Oh, of
because
course.
I have the machine, but I don't know what to do with it. I can't control any of this stuff.
Yeah, you don't know, like, the wiring or, like, you don't know if you have, like, the correct, like, a plug-in source, like the plugins. Yeah, it's not assembled, if I recall. Like, yeah.
Leaves me on red. Leaves me on the red. Just checking in, man. Checking in. He calls me back. I call him basically every day for weeks. By this point, too, I have 6-month-old ingredients. A lot of them were lost.
That's what I'm saying, bro. All these ingredients expired, being wasted. No.
Water damage. I've since...
Water damage, no.
Jake keeps promising an update that will come soon, but there's no update. It doesn't come soon. As you can imagine, Jake has quite a few reasons for him having trouble getting things sorted out on his end. Things like legal troubles with one of his previous creations, as well as some undescribed family trouble back home.
What creation, I
Things
wonder?
are super dismissive of me, someone who's given him over $500,000. 600,000 at this point. You could tell me at this point it would be ready in 2025 and I would actually believe. The point is there's a lot of excuses.
2025?
A lot of excuses.
Oh,
And
nah, that's
these
way
things,
too long.
As I'm being told them, I'm forced to believe them because if I don't, then what? I got scammed. I don't want to believe that I got scammed. Like that's my friends and family are getting suspicious.
True. No one wants to think you got scammed because then you have to, you have to confront your friends and family, and then they know that, and then it's just very embarrassing and shameful. It's just like, my goodness. But hey, I mean, I'm sure it'll turn back around because now he's got the machine. I'm pretty sure he's gonna get up and running because of Will, and I'm sure the demand is going to be very huge because all of his supporters are going to be feel very bad after watching his videos, and are probably going to buy candy and his merch in order to support this man. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Oompaville still has a bright future, but dang, this is a big speed bump in the road to success.
I'm getting suspicious, but I keep moving forward and stay positive and try to find the silver lining, literally just huffing copium. Fast forward to November
Copium, gotta love it.
$130,000 request from Jake, along with a bill of materials, everything we need to get from point A to point B to launch the candy machine, to get everything up and running, to produce candy, to finally make my dream come true. Jake's having problems with working capital, etc. I check out his bill of materials. It looks good. I double check a lot of the prices. They're all good on McMaster because I don't trust him at this point. I consult with my friends and family. I say, I can give this $130,000. I have the money. It's the last money that I have. This is the
Oh no, the last money that he has.
What do you guys think? If there's any more ask of money, I'm not giving another cent. The finality of my intention was made very clear to everyone around me at that point. I wired the money November 23rd, 2022. The point...
I thought he said that he already paid off the machine. Why would he need to pay even more money for what? Did he have a good reason?
In which I sent $130,000 is the climax of the story, because that was not included in the contract. That is well over budget. The expedite...
That's what I'm saying. If it's not in the contract, oh my goodness, Oompaville, what were you thinking?
Track for that. I just figured we needed...
He said that his family was already suspicious on top of that. What were you thinking? Listen to the family.
This done. $130,000, boom, it's over. Part of that $130,000 was to be able to buy and set up a boiler for the machine, and here it is, baby, the little sweet boiler. I have it still, but guess what?
Nice.
It's underpowered and can't run my machine. Didn't know this at the time, but found it out a little later. And then...
See, that's one of the, that's what I'm saying. There's so many factors that comes into a machine. If you have the wrong parts, if you have the wrong power, if you have even the wrong power cord, because some machines can come with the power cord that isn't adapted to that, like the thing that it's connected to, or even the thing that it's plugging into doesn't have enough power, so then you have to get all that replace it. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that go into machines. Like, it's not one and done. It's a long process.
Jake gets sick a second time. We said to ourselves, of fucking course, he gets sick again right as I send him money. He sends me a picture of the little thing in the hospital.
Is that even a real picture? What if he just took that like a while ago when he was in the picture, just so he could pull stuff like this, like right when like he has to face responsibility? He's like, oh, sorry, I'm in the hospital, and he just comes with his like blanket excuse to get out of things. This just seems like it's a very elaborate excuse to me. It's way too coincidental.
My mom did not believe him. I didn't have a choice.
See, mom knows. Mom knew from the get-go. You gotta trust mom, okay? Moms, they got some good intuition.
If you're actually sick, I would be an evil person if I assumed that this person was lying.
No, you would not. You would be a cautious person. You would not be evil. Don't give me that bullshit, bro. You're in the business industry, bro. Businessmen, most of the times, are very evil people, okay? I mean, that's just the industry that you're in, bro. Business is very cutthroat, no matter what industry you are. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm getting a business degree, because business encompasses everything. No matter what industry you want to get into, you have to be a businessman. You have to be in that business mindset, unless you're like an engineer or something else, like or whatever. But you're in business, bro. You gotta have that cutthroat mentality. You gotta have that put me and my family and my employees before anybody else that's outside of that. Especially the people that you were paying to get the job done and to deliver. My goodness.
I don't think it's stupidity. I think it's just trying to be a good person and be understanding and empathetic.
Screw being a good person when you pay this man $500,000. That goes out the window. My goodness, bro. I don't understand. Bro, you don't have to be the morality police. Like, you don't have to be Christ himself, bro. You don't have to. This is not charity work. This is business, bro. You don't see Bill Gates feeling bad for being a billionaire. You don't see these billionaires. You don't see all these multi-millionaires like. I don't know.
Of someone else's situation. We communicate a little bit through December, and he's got to get his lung drained. He has to get surgery on his lung. I'm not exactly sure if any of that happened, by the way, because
I know, it sounds like none of that even happened, now that I'm like hearing all this new information that wasn't in the last video. That's crazy, my goodness.
Here's a really important note. Jake claims that he was hospitalized for this lung problem or whatever, and then at some point says he has 10% lung capacity. So I have no idea if he
What does that even mean, 10% lung capacity? How can you even know how much percentage you... Did the doctor say, oh, you have 10%, you can only breathe 10% as well as you were. So you either get this lung drained and then you'll be back to 100%. Maybe 99%, maybe 95%. But we'll see. Like, what the... yeah, that's very sus.
I'm not saying he didn't, and I don't think anyone should assume the worst, but 10% lung capacity...
Hey, sometimes you gotta assume the worst, okay? Or at least assume the middle worst, the next worst thing, okay? Because this world is just so wild, bro. We don't... I don't feel like this world has as many altruistic people that it once had in the world. Like, there's a lot of evil people out there. We live in an evil world, you know? Like, this world... there's a reason why, like, not that I'm very religious or anything, but there's a reason why in the Bible that it says, like, not to be of the world, like, because this world is it's not for the lighthearted. This world is not, it's not good. Yeah.
Is an exaggeration. By the way, I'm not a doctor. I don't know if 10% lung capacity would get you an iron lung, but a study of 20 patients' lung function post-polio, the disease that put people into the iron lung, showed them having a function reduced to approximately 65% lung capacity when compared to a control group. So
65%, and they needed the iron lung. This man has 10%. And he's not even in an iron lung? Are you kidding me? That is the biggest, that is a huge red flag. If I've ever seen a red flag in my entire life. My goodness. That...
I'm not saying it's not possible, but if I use logic and reasoning, it seems unlikely. Another
very unlikely.
More excuses.
Because I've literally used that website that he, for different, like, research purposes, for, assignments, like college assignments and stuff, and it's a very credible source. So yeah, 65% that they need the iron lung. I've seen what the iron lung looks like, and if he's not in an iron lung with only 10% capacity, that's remarkable. That's a miracle.
Surgery, okay? And this is the first mention of Will, by the way. We see Will is stepping into his role because we don't know if Jake can ever return to physical labor. So boom, we got to get Will out there. And then, I know there's a saying, the final nail in the coffin. This is the first nail in the coffin. I saw this text, my heart dropped because I was like, oh, this is actually a scam. This is actually fraud. So, sweating bullets, Jake
Let me
built up
see.
the courage to ask me for a $60,000 loan. How? Well, he spent all of the money that I sent him at the end of November. I've put my entire work into this project, and this man is essentially taking it hostage at this point. So I make a decision and that I will give Jake no more money. And there's got to be consequences for this type of unprofessional behavior. I tried to see how much of a scam this actually
This is crazy. I hope Jake gets reprimanded somehow, legally, financially. I don't care, bro. This is an actual crime.
I have to make it clear. I didn't know the machine was Chinesium. I just knew Jake was racketeering. He tries to garner sympathy with these texts. He sends me a list of stuff to buy. He tries to give me, an explanation as to how dire his situation is. I said, I can't help him because I have my own financial stress and I have...
Exactly.
Then magically the next day, he does, no worries. He figures it out, guys. Don't worry. We're good. Treading water a little bit here. I'm not giving Jake any more money. I just want Will to come.
Oh, so now he's got it figured out? Sure.
Some more delays though, but eventually Will does show up. And you guys kind of know if you watch the first part, this part of the story. So Will arrives, we kind of figure everything out. We find out the boiler doesn't work. The boiler that I spent 30 grand on, he said, but actually cost 16,000. By the way, I found where he bought it on eBay. And Jake wants
eBay?
an additional 35,000.
Oh my goodness, bro. Bruh. Who would have known a Discord user would come up with such an elaborate scam?
Now, not the $60K loan, $35,000 for 1 week of his time to tie up all his loose ends, to pay his mortgage, to get his rent, to just basically help him in his shortcomings and in his failures because I'm desperate. I call him, I try to sweeten the deal. I say, what do you need me to do, man? What do you need me to do? By the way, I have no intention of giving him any money at this point. He says $35,000 for 1 week and probably an additional $35,000 for another week. The next day,
one week.
I say, hey, Will, How
That's a
come
slap
you
in
and
the
Jake
face.
Don't know what the fuck's going on with this machine. Didn't you guys build this? And Will says, no. And Will shows me this. Attention, Mr. Jake Fullerton. This is an invoice for a company in China to build my machine.
Wow.
Buy my machine, whatever it is. $124,000.
That must have been
and $31,000.
the shot to the heart. Like,
I still don't have. Jake still has that. Plus $2,000 for belt rolling machines and $3,500 for a PP case. Don't know what that is. Total cost $160,500. And this was
wow.
September 23rd, 2021. And it begins to all unravel, doesn't it, my friends? It starts to make a lot of sense. So I figure it out. I realize that we've been completely scammed. We have that moment with Will. I offer him a job. I say, hey man, you do know this is like a big deal. Like this is bad.
Huge deal.
Every step of the way. This is a massive case of fraud. Will had no idea. I genuinely believe that. By the way, I am extremely appreciative to Will for helping with all this. He could have gone directly back home to Georgia, but instead he decided to help do what was right and expose all this. He realized we had been lied to. And so was he. He was lied to as well. Call me naive, but I genuinely believe Will knew nothing of all of this. Jake is a compartmentalization.
I'm not gonna call you naive. I mean, if you think that, I'll trust you. I mean, you know way more about your own situation than I could ever. I'm literally just reacting to what you're saying, so there's nothing that I can judge you for. I mean, this is what happens. I mean, mistakes, honestly, a lot of the times are good things because you learn a lot from those mistakes. You never make them again, and you grow from those mistakes. But this is, I mean, yeah, like I said again, this is a huge mistake. My goodness, I could never imagine. I would literally have a huge heart attack. I'd probably lose years of my life from the stress of this. But it seems like he's doing okay, or at least the best that he can, at least.
Rationalization master of just dismissing things. Radio silence from Mr. Caleb Oompaville to Jake Fullerton of Fullerton Engineering out of Georgia. He knows that I know that he's cooked. He comes up with all these excuses, tries to figure out a way to sell his stuff, collateral. It's just a bunch of desperation. I decided to not speak to him for a little while to control my emotions because I was very emotional at this point. I was extremely stressed.
Oh, I bet. I would have been furious.
But also just completely.
I would have been like Godzilla, like,
because like I said,
just
this is my baby.
shooting lasers out of my mouth.
Baby. It's my dream. I've never stopped believing in it from the very moment of its inception. Looking back, I did absolutely everything I could.
Yeah, you gotta nurture that baby. You can't let them steal that baby from you.
Positively as I possibly could. I tried to act with virtue, which is cringe, but I genuinely...
It is cringe.
The whipping winds of Zeldron.
So now, let's go ahead and expose the scam, shall we? Because this is where...
You have to come at it with fury. You gotta be a big dog. You gotta be ruthless, okay? That's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be ruthless. I'm trying to make that money. I ain't trying to let no one step on me. I gotta be the big stepper. I gotta be stepping on everyone like they weeds. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm a pretty good person. I mean, I'm pretty chill. I get along with everybody, so. But when it comes to money and business, you damn know. You're damn right. I'm not letting no one scam my ass. I'm dotting my I's and I'm crossing my T's to the max.
Really good.
Especially when I'm making such a huge purchase like that. Hell no, I am not going that far in debt. And I know I'm not maxing out any credit cards because I'm trying to keep my credit as high as I can. Yeah. Sheesh.
Even though he had pictures of it from fab shops around Georgia, taken by old dinosaurs with flip phones, or whatever he said. We know of hundreds of different lies at this point.
Hundreds? My goodness.
So many things are untrue. At the very least, we know he didn't build the machine. But when did the machine arrive in America? If it was built in China, the extruder alone...
Yeah, and the email, or the receipt was in 2001 in September. Now it's 2003, already in July. Like, my goodness, that's crazy.
1,500 pounds. It's going to take a little while for that thing.
It's going to take a fat minute.
Luckily, we have the import data. So this is a packing list from January 2022. I assume
January
in China.
2022? That should have already been there, like, a long time ago. That should have been there a fat minute ago, bro. Even if it was they just drove it hella far to get to them. That should have been there a fat minute ago.
So it wasn't even in the country until far after the quote-unquote December, January, February. Like, it wasn't even possible. It was never possible to launch in December of
So it was supposed to be at their warehouse by February of 2022, but it just got... Oh, okay.
2021 or February in 2022. All lies. From the very beginning. The thing was in the air. It was in the air or on a ship.
Yeah, it was probably on a ship, not on air.
On a ship. The thing was on a ship. It really doesn't even matter. At the end of the day, we know that everything was a lie. Every single thing. He lied to me. He lied about serial numbers for me taking out a loan with a bank. He lied to
Yeah, what did the bank say when they like saw the obviously fake serial numbers? I wonder what happened. Well, I wonder what the bank said.
He defrauded the bank. He defrauded me. He defrauded everyone. It's complete and total unrelenting.
That's so bad. This guy took out a loan for the bank, and then... So does the bank think that this guy scams them? Or, like, what is the bank gonna think? Damn, this is such a messed up situation.
Evil fraud. So we know it's a scam, but this still is not the end. It gets way worse, and there's threats and just blackmail.
Shouldn't... Wait, so did the bank give him the loan before the serial numbers came, or did they not even give him the loan because once they got the serial numbers, they're like, wait, this is not even like a real like machine because these serial numbers are clearly fake. It doesn't like come back as registered.
Crazy. Jake finds out that Will showed me the receipt, and that's why I haven't responded at all. Jake gets extremely desperate. What about Will? What did Jake think of Will quitting and exposing this to me?
Huh, yeah, I wonder that too.
Well, he wasn't. He was upset enough to blackmail Will, and also
blackmail.
Let's see how that went. So at one point,
what a piece of shit!
Jake, because he said he was going to show up to his house, and he didn't want that to happen. And we've got a recording of the call. By the way, Georgia's single-party consent state.
What was your last correspondence with Forrest?
What do you do for the company?
I'm the COO. I'd basically just help try to fulfill any dream that Caleb has.
Put all that.
He was asking, oh, where's the green for the extruder go? And I explained we landed a second separate ground, and the ground in the multi-conductor is actually the neutral.
Was it on the weekend?
No, 2:57 this afternoon.
Okay. All right. Have you told anybody at Off-Brand that you resigned?
Mm-mm.
Okay. All right, cool.
He's trying to figure out why we're not talking to him and only talking to Will. The reason is because Will didn't lie and defraud us for years. Jake did. That's the reason we're only talking to Will.
I wish you would have called me last week or over the weekend or something, because I came up with the plan with Caleb. And part of that plan is I secured a dollar amount for pay for you, for back pay, overtime, as well as pay for the rest of the month in March. So now I got to go back to him and tell him to get that pay out.
He went forward with that deal?
No, we were restructuring the deal. So basically, I took out everything except for mortgage, rent, utilities, and pay.
This is the deal to have Jake come down for 2 weeks to the $35,000 a week, which I never intended to pay.
Yeah, nah, screw that.
Becoming very clear
for only a week.
This is after Will quit.
Hell no.
By the way,
the preliminary steps where I was like, okay, once this is done and you're making money, we're gonna wind down. I'm gonna dissolve Fullerton Engineering, and we're gonna go 100%.
Who knows if he's even gonna come anyways?
The engineering arm.
Just gonna make an excuse like, I'm in the hospital, I can't come.
If everything worked perfectly, if Jake came down and we had everything running with flying colors, I intended on doing this. I intended on acquiring his business and having him work for me to build these machines. But
oh yeah, I believe that.
things were not what they seemed. this deal
They never were.
was never going to come to fruition.
Did you really tell Cody that you're gonna show up at my house?
No, dude, I said that I just needed to talk with you about the things that I just did.
Okay.
I needed to know about the stuff you dropped off. I said he needs to call me back so I could hash out a couple of things, or I need to go talk to him at his house.
Alright, because that's... You understand that can, like, freak me the fuck out.
This call is right after Jake found out that Will quit and that I paid his back pay or something, but he didn't know that Will was working for me yet. And Will was back in Georgia, and Jake wanted to show up to his house to talk to him about something. He was getting desperate. He said he was going to come
Yeah, that's very weird. He's going to show up to this guy's house unexpectedly to talk. That's weird.
over there. He knew that the files were accessed. He knew that something was up. He knew that Will showed me the receipt, the invoice that blew the top off this entire thing. By the way, none of the deals were put together. He's completely lying. Do with that what you will. I assume he's probably telling the truth about showing up to Will's house, though. After that call, Will went and grabbed my PLC, a touchscreen controller for my
man just unhinged.
That was in our office, that was in our warehouse, that it wasn't there. We needed that thing to make it even run. Jake had it in his shop so he could reprogram it from Chinese to English. That's why it wasn't here, because it was still in Chinese. By the way, it's in my warehouse now. It's still in Chinese. And guess what, baby? We can read it. We memorized. Will brings back this piece of my machine.
Wait, they can read it? They can read Chinese? That's lit.
Very angry. He finds out.
Unless they just translated it.
Yo, read your NDA. If you're not going to read it, you're digging yourself a really, really big hole. My warehouse camera system has worked since I moved in. My dirty little secret. I updated it to 10 terabytes last year, and it has everything.
My warehouse camera system works. 10 terabytes last year has everything. Damn. But yeah, like he said, NDA does not work if you're covering fraud. So, what you kind of did, Jake, so F off.
Thing from when I moved in. I got you on Saturday and Monday night, and you know what I'm talking about. You were logged into the Corp Gmail account on your devices, which happens to have forensic reporting on all action. Your contractual obligations under the NDA do not about your underlying reasons for why you breached. Doesn't matter if you are doing the right thing or if you quit. You cannot take company information in any form and divulge it to anyone. Newsflash. An NDA doesn't protect you from committing crimes.
Exactly.
I don't even know at this point. You took company assets without authorization.
Who knows if that NDA was even real?
Warehouse. Your reasoning behind this does not matter. They belong to me until either I authorize them to be delivered. My contract for the production line was between FE and Off-Brand, my company. The scope was deviated shortly after.
Yeah, he definitely scammed. Because if he's like this mad about him showing him a receipt that he made, bro, like. Yeah, that's how you know it's a scam, because you got exposed.
Extrusion. I have the freedom and authority as a business to furnish equipment whatever way I see fit, and the methodology, documentation, and all elements related to that are confidential. True, but also you can't just lie about that. That's
yeah, you can't lie, bro.
Fraud! Right now, I have you in breach for most of the NDA. If you would like to read it, go for it. You'll have ample time to see what you violated in the near future. I've gathered saved video from all the cameras of the shop. You can either continue to play dumb and wait for the police report for theft to be filed with video evidence, or contact me immediately and try to convince me otherwise. The NDA, in brief summary, prohibits you from defrauding someone for hundreds of thousands of dollars is what it prevents you from doing. Just kidding, it doesn't. He lays out what Will breached, and by the way, this is complete and total nonsense. It's been months. There's been no legal action against Will. And
exactly.
Laugh in Jake's face if they tried to do anything about this. Yes, I'm giving you an ultimatum. I know you hate it so much with how butthurt you got over me just trying to ask questions and simply mention to Cody I considered dropping by your house. This time, I have no interest in coming to your house myself. The choice is yours. Say nothing and wait for the imminent theft charges followed by whatever course of action.
Jeez, this guy is unhinged, bro. My goodness. I'd be scared too if this guy said he was gonna come to my house.
Explain your dumb ass and convince me not to. The clock is ticking. Regards. Now, I'm no lawyer.
Even if I knew that this is all BS, I still would be like, dang, what if this guy actually did come to my house and like hell try to threaten me with some shit?
Pressing criminal charges against someone to make them do something. That's illegal too, as well. Also, he didn't steal anything. He's helping someone who paid his payroll for years and the backed up payroll that you didn't pay.
Exactly.
Your ID, social, address, license plate number, and footage from all 4 cams of you stealing are being filed away in your criminal complaint tomorrow with PD. You catastrophically fucked up. My company was never going to go anywhere, but I think you might truly be the most guy I've ever had to deal with. Of the year, crying laughing face emoji. I've always just been joking.
What a piece of crap.
Bad because you're mentally handicapped.
Wow.
Oh my god, I just had an epiphany. You thought
this is why, see, Discord degenerate right here.
Business. You took info I fed you on your trip to feed to Caleb. Literally, holy fuck, sub-zero IQ, you're actually brain dead. This is Jacob Fullerton admitting to Will that he fed info to Will to manipulate me.
Exactly. He's exposing himself. He's literally exposing himself. He's literally getting him mad that Will came out and told him the truth, saying like, we didn't build the machine, we didn't design it. Like, what are you talking about? Like, bro, Will came in clutch and like showed him the receipts. Like, yeah, we only paid like $160 something thousand for this in total. Like, bruh, oh my goodness, huge scam, bruh.
Even further,
he's literally getting mad, just like how an Indian tech support scammer trying to scam like old women would get. Like, this literally is like the same reaction.
His company and that it was going out of business. Are you telling me he didn't actually have any money problems? Oh my god, you mean all the money problems, all the loans I had to give, it wasn't actually real and he just admitted to it on text? No,
that's crazy.
William isn't.
He took out loans from the bank to give to this random Discord stranger that he's never even met. That's crazy to me. Now he's in debt because of that. I don't know how this will affect his relationship with the bank either as well. That's crazy.
The year after all. Okay, so now you know about that. Let's circle back around to Jake's official statement, his incredible Twitter statement. 1, I did not know I was being labeled a scammer. Oh, here you go. You're not being labeled a scammer, you are.
Yeah, you quite literally are a scammer.
There's a lot of important info missing from the video. True, that is very true. I'll let you have that, but not from this video. 3, I did not receive or pocket $1 million, and every penny we received was put into the project. The first part of that...
Yeah, this video is way more thorough, and I appreciate you, Oompaville, for going way more into details so that we're more aware of what's going down.
True.
And now I feel even worse for you, Oompaville. My goodness.
I did not send Jacob Fullerton $1 million. I sent Jake over $500,000. Okay, and I spent well over
still a lot.
$3.5 million to get this entire.
That's a ton.
And a lot of those expenses.
I don't care if it's $1 million. I don't care if it's $500,000. I don't care if it's $250,000. I don't care if it's $100,000. That's still a ton of money. My goodness.
Based on timelines that were provided by Jacob Fullerton. 4, I was under the impression my help was no longer needed after the source of the equipment was leaked to Caleb. That is true. We don't want to involve ourselves with scammers. 5, I did not receive any further correspondence from anyone after it was leaked 5-ish months ago. That is also not true. Here's video footage of me and Forrest calling Jake to try to get some answers about the boiler. Plus, I did text him and send him this picture of us launching, which I was very proud of that moment. I wanted to share it with everyone. 6, I did not intentionally scam Caleb. So you unintentionally scammed Caleb. Is that the?
How does that even work? Unintentionally.
I don't understand what that means. What do you guys think? Comment down below. I worked with Chinese manufacturer.
How can you unintentionally scam someone? Like he's literally admitting that he's scamming him, but unintentionally. So you're admitting that you scammed him, but accidentally. Like, that doesn't even make sense, bro. You can't just accidentally scam someone. Especially when you see how much the product costs, and then like you're upcharging it so much more, and then you promise all these things you can't promise.
Customized equipment because the cost to manufacture
you scammed him because you lied.
I received it and worked 1+ year reverse engineering, redesigning controls, swapping cheap components with USA ones, etc. This is demonstrably false. First off,
of course,
you didn't even have the machine for an entire year before we picked it up. There's proof of that from import tariffs, things like that. You did not have the machine. You purchased it in September of 2021.
Yeah, there's no way he would have had time to do any of that.
Lie. You reverse engineered it and redesigned controls. By that, you mean you just took the PLC, the touchscreen that was written in Chinese, that, by the way, if you customize it with the Chinese manufacturer, which we speak to, Nicole is her name, you can have them send you the machine in English. You don't have to redesign controls. They will do it for you.
What a moron. Oh my goodness.
You took off Chinese nameplate.
Bro, oh my goodness. This guy could have just done that himself and then sent it to them. But instead, he went through the hassle of sending the machine. Oh my goodness. This dude is... Oh, this Jake is such an idiot.
And put on ones in English that weren't even translated correctly. By the way, thank you, Nicole, for explaining this to us. You swapped cheap components with USA.
God bless Nicole.
He swapped out cheap Chinesium with American hard muscle. This is not true. The only thing that was swapped out on my equipment that came from China, I asked Nicole and I asked Will, who did all of the swapping, was breakers and transformers. You redesigned the electrical components of a machine. Do you know how much a breaker costs? People watching, sorry for getting
no clue.
Not very much. They're very cheap. It doesn't cost money, really, to redesign the electrical system of something like this, to upgrade it from 300 VAC, 320, 380, 360, whatever China uses, to 480 VAC. Believe me. And also, we still had to fix some of the electrical wiring. It wasn't correct. Caleb was told that this was designed by
and on top of that, it wasn't even correct.
That is an admittance to
That's even more expensive.
That part doesn't matter.
Even if it is cheap, still inconvenience and time wasted.
That you didn't pocket any of it, I find hard to believe.
He definitely pocketed. That's cap.
The money went. It was put into the equipment. Purchase new controls.
That's cap.
Redesigning electricals, etc. Overhead, warehouse, freight, rigging, machinists, etc. This stuff isn't cheap, and we paid above and beyond sticker price, the invoice price, $160,500 to manufacture to have this customized, then 3 times the cost of the equipment on new materials and making it decent. That is a complete and total utter lie. $160,500 times 3 is a lot of money. I don't even.
That is a lot of money. 3 times.
It cost that much money to upgrade wiring. It doesn't. Breakers, $20. A transformer. The transformer to power my entire building costs $3 grand. It costs maximum $10,000. Maximum. And you can have,
wow, that's a fraction of what he paid.
That you work so well with. You can have them do it for you for a small fee of like a couple grand and an additional wait of a few months. And there is no new materials, by the way. Nothing has changed on these machines. It's all quality stuff, surprisingly enough. In spite of it being Chinesium, it is good. But nothing was changed. We didn't just purchase it and send it. We spent a lot of time.
Yeah, you can get some good products from China.
There's so much more to unpack here that I will.
But you got to be careful.
That there is a huge misunderstanding.
America is definitely the safer option.
Work with someone like this ever again in my entire life, and I'm grateful that this happened to me, and I'm grateful that I can expose it and make the best of it.
Yeah, I'm glad you can expose it too. You're teaching a lot of young small business
make it out of this.
Owners and entrepreneurs of
1 out of 100. I am lucky
shady people like this.
So I can make the absolute best of this and make this type of content. And I thank God that this didn't happen to anyone that I love. I did not simply scam.
Yeah, thank God. Oh my goodness. Hey, I know you're gonna bounce back from this, Oompaville. You're gonna succeed either way. It doesn't matter. And I'm pretty sure this is giving him a huge, even more motivation inside of him. And this is probably just making him want to like succeed even more. It's probably lit a fire under him.
Caleb out of a huge sum of money. I provided him equipment he thought was 100% USA custom made, but wasn't. Then never finished the install.
Exactly, he thought, and it wasn't. So you scammed him.
Down and you leave out.
He literally is exposing himself.
Criminal intent. That is absolutely true, dude. All he did was overpromise and underdeliver, dude. What's the big deal?
Exactly, that's what he's saying.
Trying to get in touch with me after.
What an idiot! This guy is such a moron. Why would he say this? I'm just.
Whatever I can do to make this.
If I was him, I would just go radio silent, bro. You scammed 500, $500,000, bro. I would be off the grid. My goodness. But hey,
one priority. I don't know if there is anything that can be done to make this
Let him keep talking. Let him keep exposing himself.
Different direction because of this entire thing. I put everything into this. I was fully taken advantage of by Jacob Fullerton.
Jake the Snake.
To say that I no longer have to deal with this. We got it figured out. I have the most support I've ever had from you guys. I have
Heck
a
yeah.
machine that we've put, I mean, I can't even explain it. Hours and hours and hours, days, weeks,
months
into retrofitting and fixing, because it was a fucking piece of shit when it showed up. Not worth $160,000, let alone the amount that I paid for it. And I
wow.
Genuinely.
Not even worth 160,000, and you paid $500,000, bruh.
It's over. The scam is done. Okay, it's over, and no one will ever be scammed by Jacob Fullerton.
Good.
Again, because you all know the truth.
Yes, we know the truth.
I have a PDF you guys can go look at with every single text, everything in regards to all this. If you want to check it all yourselves, I don't give a fuck. I have nothing to hide. I put my best foot forward. Jake.
Yeah, I don't think you have anything to hide, Oompaville. I believe you, bro. I believe that you were the one to scan, bro. Or else you wouldn't be making this video. You wouldn't be making a whole 55-minute video. Like, you have nothing to prove, Oompaville. I believe you. And on top of that, you have the support of some ordinary gamers and CoffeeZilla, which are very highly reputable YouTube channels in themselves. So there's no way I'm not going to believe you, Oompaville.
Has a lot to hide. Once again, do not dox, do not harass, do not...
Of course not, yeah. Don't dox, don't harass. Just make your own YouTube videos like this and just make fun of him, ridicule him, and shame him. And spread awareness.
Intimidate. It is not worth any of that. It is just simply money, and we are all making the absolute best of it. And by the way, go to sour.gg and pre-order some fucking candy. I cannot believe...
I want some fucking candy. I might just go and do that.
I just said that out loud. I literally feel emotions currently.
Oh wow, that was the end of the video. Wow, that was, how long was that? We got an hour and 25 minutes.
Don't always have time for
oh my goodness, shush up, I do not care. Okay, let's get down to that. So wow, that was a lot. Prayers go out to Oompaville. Yeah, go hit up his website and go buy some candy, or go buy some merch, or go subscribe to his channel, go watch his content, go do whatever you can for the boy. But yeah, if you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. Leave a comment, say whatever you want. Check out my website, inspiredwoodworks.shop. I'll repeat that, inspiredwoodworks.shop, so you can get cool wooden art pieces like this behind you, so you can hang on the wall. I even make coasters that you can put on the table, that you can put all your cups on top of when you're having a beverage. And yeah, it's been a good this is a pretty long video. It's probably the longest video by far. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys have a good day and a good night if it's in the nighttime. And until next time, it's been your boy Uber Trippy, and I'm out.
I woke up in the morning, I say I need one of those. They got me trying all their clothes. They got me trying all their clothes. I swear to God, I never